evening guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is quite a special video, to be fair. We have now got a very special, very personal number plate for the FN, and I'm really excited to put it on and show you. A lot of you guys into double figures have been sending me private messages saying, oh, you need to get this plate. And private number plates has never really been anything that's ever been on my mind. I've just thought, well, it's just a number plate. As long as the car looks how I want it to look, I'm not really bothered. It's a lot of money for just some letter changes. But now I've got these, I'm so glad, because I think it's literally gonna not finish the car off, because there's loads I want to do with the car, but it's gonna finish off the registration of it. It's just gonna be spot on. I'm not going to show it you yet. I'll show it you when we get it ready to put onto the car. So yeah, let's just get cracking.
Right then, so things that I personally think you're going to need for this task. I've got some quick detailer to like wipe down the surface that we're going to be putting the new one on. I've got some tar remover, that's actually auto glue tar remover, but I put it in a spray bottle. That's just in case there's any like number plate stickers that are really stubborn that I need to try and get the residue off. I can use that for that if the quick detailer's not doing it. I've also got some cutting polish. That's if there's any bits where the number plate's been rubbing and it might have scuffed up the surface a little bit. I could just try and use that with a microfiber pad, see if we can get it a bit more to a shine again before we start using the machine and properly correcting it. And I've also got some Simonized jet black trim restorer, which it's not that bad. I got that on offer for £2.99. It's usually £4.99 now, where the auto glim back to black is usually like near a tenner or something, and it does the same job. I'd like to do a comparison video at some point of like different value trim restorers, but yeah, that's going to do the job for me today. All your necessary microfibers that you're going to need, somewhere to put your dirty microfibers. I've also got trim remover tools, so we're not scratching the paintwork as much when we're trying to lift it off. And I've just got a basic mechanics toolkit if there's any, all you're going to need is a screwdriver if there's any screws on the front plate, because my back plate doesn't have any. Oh yeah, the trim restorers, basically, if you've got a frame on, like my front one's got a frame around it, why not just restore that before you put the fresh one on? That's what I'm thinking. So let's start by getting this old one off. So I have never ever taken a number plate off of a car. This has probably been on there for quite a long time. Yeah, I can feel the number plate sticker underneath. Right, so, oh crap, there are some holes. I don't know if the new plate's going to cover these holes up. It looks like somebody else has been drilling. If so, then I'm going to have to do that another time where we fill them. But either way, I've got to change the plates now because they're registered. And across the top it looks like. Jesus. I was hoping it was just going to be these two holes here, but these have been drilled straight through as well from the inside. Right, that's going to need more than some quick detailer on there, so I'm actually going to just like quickly wash that down. So it's pretty much had like a basic wipe down now, so all the top layer of dirt is off. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's definitely a colour change from here being a darker red to a lighter red, because obviously this has been completely sheltered from any kind of UV rays or weathering and all that kind of stuff, so it's a lighter red. Or it's because it's faded because it's had loads of crap in there. One or the other. One of these two paints is better condition than the other. But as you can see, if you look close up, just get that focus back on it correctly. God, that's one thing about this camera, the autofocus is absolutely shocking, which I'm sure you guys notice. My dad always frigging tells me. Yeah, you can see all these little black spots, which to me is like tar. So we're going to go straight to the tar remover before we use the quick detailer, if anything, and just decontaminate this paint and try and get these off as well, these horrible patches. Now with the tar remover, you're meant to let it sit on for about a minute or so, but 1 or 2 minutes. When you start to see the actual tar start to like drip, then you know, then it should be nearly ready to wipe off. Oh, it's running everywhere, all over my hands. Oh, it's gonna friggin' hurt. Why is he doing that? I think this sprayer might be broken, so we're just gonna have to wing it. Oh my word. Right. Well, that's what I get for putting it in a Demon Shine friggin' bottle. Right, so with the back, so what I've actually done is I've tried to soak the sponge in the Autoglym tar remover, let that soak in for a little bit, and then we're going to try and use the wide trim remover and be very, very gently, scrape sounds horrible, but nudge it off as much as we can, and then use the tar remover again to get rid of the residue. Whilst that's soaking in, I'm going to be taking off the front number plate now. These are just the 2 screws here, so that should be as easy as anything. They are really rounded out. I've never properly looked at them, but they are properly rounded out inside. Hopefully we can still get it off with just a basic screwdriver. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fine. So we'll take this off and see what we've got behind. We won't be using screws again to put this on. We will be using the adhesive pads, so we don't have to put fresh holes in the new plate. That's the old plates off, well, that old plate. One thing I will remind you of, keep your old plates, because if you ever want to keep your new personalised plate and move it onto another car, then you're going to need the original plate so that the car can go back onto that registration afterwards. It's a little bit mucky, a little bit gunky, so I'll give that a wipe down again, and then we'll sort about sticking the new one on. Right, so that's all clean now. I literally used like a kitchen anti-bac wipe just to wipe down the plastic. I've wiped down this red piece a little bit as well, which I'm not too bothered about that being absolutely perfectly clean, because it's going to get covered by the new plate anyway. That's all cleaned. I'm just going to get some back to black on there and well, trim restorer, and then get the fresh plate on. I get a different angle for you for this one, so you can actually see in the sunlight how faded this plastic is. I just got like an older microfiber towel that I know is never going to be 100% clean again. I kind of use them for me trim towels, or anything that's like tyre shine and all that kind of stuff. It's like a mucky towel, as I call it, but it has been cleaned. Just going to apply, oh, let's get a check up first, shall we? This does dry up really fast, so you've kind of got to like get it on and spread it about as quickly as possible, because like I said, it's a trim restorer, it's not for the paintwork, it's for plastics. I forgot to, but I would recommend quick detailing around the edges as well, so you're not rubbing in any dirt. But look at the colour change already. Let's do the rest. Blackest piece of plastic on car. Let that dry a little bit as well, because obviously we're putting adhesive pads on there, so we don't want it to be wet, we want it to stick properly. Right, so I was just lining up the number plate to pop it on. I've noticed that where the screws had been in, they're actually standing quite proud where the plastic is. I don't know if I can show it you very well. You can see that it stands out from the plastic. So when I'm putting the new number plate on, it's not laying flush against the actual back plate because of these. Now I'm trying to think of what to do. Can I file them down without ruining the rest of it? And I've actually got a chisel kit where I've got like the smallest chisel that's in the set. And all I'm basically doing is, I'll show you when I've lined it up. I've actually already done it on the one on this side. That's a lot more flush. This one still stands out a bit, but it's literally a small chisel end like that. And try and be as flush as you can with the car, because the last thing you want to do is knock it straight into the car and then you're going to be damaging the bumper. But I'm sure you can sand this as well if you prefer to do that, but just to get the tip of the plastic off, even just with my hand, I'm not even using a hammer, that gets that straight off. There you go, that's all the rim that was on there. So that should now be flush enough for us to get the plate on and it be a secure fitting. I'm just going to do the other side and then we'll crack the new one on. Right, so I've got all the adhesive pads on for all the contact points that I'm going to use. Probably don't need that many of them on, but I just want to make sure it's secure. And this is going to be the new plate. Probably the most relevant plate I could ever possibly get to the channel, so I'm really, really happy with it. Things different to the other one, other than the letters obviously, is that these are 3D letters, so you can see that in the shading, and we get a nice red outline as well to match with the car. I can't wait to get this on, and I can't wait to get the back one on. You know what I mean? Wow, that sounded horrifically racist. I'll never make that noise again. So these are all being chipped off now, and we're gonna line it up. It doesn't fit directly to each corner, so I need, and if I push it all the way to the top, there's a lot of plastic showing underneath, so I've got to try and somehow get it bang on centre in it all, which is hard because this is quite smooth now since we put back to black on it. So wish me luck. That looks about right. Oh, I'm so scared of this. Let's see if I can do it whilst it's in position. No turning back. Okay. Oh yes. Oh, I'm littering everywhere. Right, moving back to the back, I managed to get the residue off for the side ones. I don't mind so much about this one because it's going to get covered up, but they took quite a few attempts of like dousing it with the tar remover, letting it soak for a while, and then getting one of the plastic trim removers just to lightly scrape it off, until eventually it got to a point where I was using the microfiber towel, which were soaked of the tar remover, and then just rubbing it, so eventually all the residue came off. There is like a slight line here from where it was, and obviously there's a colour difference as well, so I'm going to go over it a little bit with the cutting polish and see how close we can get it before we fit the back plate on. In an average situation I would recommend claying the paint so there's no contaminants or anything in there, but that's something we can do on a later date when we get a proper polish again. I'm also going to have to look at filling these two outside holes in because they're not original holes. They are quite proud, like on the front where they've been screwed outwards, so hopefully just for now until I get some kind of cap to put on there, the rain isn't going to go in, it's going to go onto the proud section and dribble around it and go down. So I'm going to try and get some like grommets or something like that, just something just to pop in that we can paint the same colour as the car. Don't need a lot of polish because we're not doing a big area, but I'll blotch it about a bit. I'm just trying to do straight lines for now. It's a little bit better. It does need a proper machine polish because nothing compares to that when you're doing it by hand. It's an absolute effort doing a full car by hand. It's hard enough doing it all with a machine polish in one day. Yeah, that really needs to be blended in. So I'm going to try and do this one by eye. I've put the adhesive pads already on because these two are actually covering up the original holes for the number plate that was on before. Like I said, we'll sort these other holes out on a later date. But wish me luck, I'm going to try and centre it as much as I possibly can without doing measurements and just try and do it by eye. Nah, bugger that, I'm doing measurements, I don't trust it. I think that's straight. What I did in the end is I tried to be as accurate as possible, but 4 inches in from these bottom corners here. So 4 inches in, pop some random tape down. Well, I've used painter's tape, put it down randomly, and then marked exactly 4 inches inwards on these 2 pieces of tape. And then when I've put the plate on to line it up, I've got closer measuring points that I can use, so I measured to that dot, measured to that dot, and kept moving it until they were both the same measurement, and then held it in place and started peeling off the adhesives from the other side. It should be flat. I've kind of lined it up with there. I've looked where the mark is from the previous number plate is, so I know it's at the correct height for it still to be visible, and then the bottom just falls into place. I'll just take these off, and then other than the holes, which we'll sort out later, that's it done. I love the import size plate. I didn't have the guts to do it on the front because I knew for certain there'd be holes on there, and I knew the paint would probably be in a bit of a mess as well with the fact of there being a number plate frame on there, so a lot of crap does get inside there. I didn't want to risk that. So I've only gone with the back. If I got the front end smoothed or a different front bumper or anything like that, I'd probably switch to that plate, but until then I'll just run it on the back. I just think it's great because it has the FN2 and then it separates the loo underneath, which is brilliant, and we still got the red frame, which is really cool. So yeah, they are the new personalised plates.
So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's not been something that's like a big install or anything, that's literally just been swapping the number plates over, but just due to the fact of how many of you guys recommended this number plate to me, I thought it'd be exciting for you guys to see the process of it being changed over. If you did enjoy this video, if you do enjoy any of my videos, please like and subscribe to the channel and click the little bell button so it reminds you when a fresh video comes on so you can keep up to date. I think the next video I'll be filming will be a Halloween car meet in Doncaster, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I am bringing one of my closest friends. He's actually going to be the best man at my wedding, and he's never been to a car meet. He doesn't have his own car yet, so we'll see what it's like from somebody like that's perspective. That's going to be pretty interesting. So until next time guys, like you always say, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.